2025 is looking to be a pretty stacked year for games, and we're all looking forward to different ones. So in this video, I'll be sharing some of my most anticipated games of 2025. Disclaimer, this is my list, so everything you're excited about might not be on here. If something is missing, it means I'm just not as excited as you, or I just simply forgot about it. But with that being said, let's get into it, shall we? I would consider Assassin's Creed to be my favorite video game franchise, and as much as I've enjoyed entries like Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, it's been a long time since an Assassin's Creed game has been interesting from both a gameplay and narrative standpoint. And Shadows doesn't look like it's going to change that. After the huge disappointment that was Mirage, I've pretty much given up all hope that this series will ever return to its former glory or anything close to it. But at this point, I'm pretty much committed to playing every mainline Assassin's Creed game that comes out, and Shadows does at least look fun, especially as far as stealth is concerned. I could care less about the whole Yasuke controversy surrounding this game, but I just personally have no interest in playing as a brute type character in an Assassin's Creed game. No thanks. And I'm just gonna let you guys know this right now, Ghost of Yotei isn't on this list. But before you click off, it's solely because I never finished Ghost of Tsushima. But now that I've said that out loud, I don't actually know how much that helps my case. Look, I'll get around to it eventually, okay? Maybe as a palate cleanser after I beat Shadows, which will be dropping on February 14th. So if you're single, have fun, and if you're not, well, I hope you have weekends off. Lost Records Bloom and Rage is the upcoming Don't Nod joint, and it looks pretty good. A lot of people are comparing this game to Life is Strange, and I used to as well, but the more they show off of this game, the more Lost Records really seems to be doing its own thing, and I'm into it. The mid-90s kind of vibe with some supernatural elements is enough to get me through the door. Lost Records will have two parts, with tape 1 dropping on February 18th and tape 2 on March 18th. Hell yes, Joseph the Oscars Fares and his team at Hazelight have been cooking once again with their newest co-op adventure, Split Fiction. I've personally never played Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, but as someone who has thoroughly enjoyed their co-op experiences in particular, I'm really intrigued to see what they do next with this brand new story, because it actually sounds kind of genius. Playing as two writers, one who writes sci-fi and another who writes fantasy, and seeing how the different worlds they've created clash with one another will surely be an exhilarating ride. Split Fiction will be out on March 6th. Speaking of co-op, the third installment in the Little Nightmares series looks as fun and eerie as ever. I loved the first Little Nightmares game, and I thought the second one was good too, but something I kept thinking while playing Little Nightmares 2 is, what would the game be like if it had co-op? And now it seems like I'm getting my answer with Little Nightmares 3, which will have co-op this time. But other than that change, it looks like more Little Nightmares, and I'm here for it. No release date as of yet, but it seems to be scheduled for some time in 2025. When it was first shown off, Karn immediately caught my eye. A video game centered on climbing isn't the most novel of concepts, but I feel like the challenge these types of games offer gives someone like me the rewarding feeling that more hardcore people get from playing Souls or roguelikes. I also love the element of the player character getting frustrated themselves when messing up, so it feels like more of a shared experience. I don't know, man, the game just looks interesting. Doesn't have a release date yet, but it's slated for 2025. South of Midnight just looks cool as hell. What more can I say, really? As someone who has southern roots, seeing a game that's a love letter to the deep south, drawing inspiration from the culture and folklore of the southeastern region of the United States makes me really intrigued. After seeing the look of the game in the short documentary they put out a while ago, the devs behind South of Midnight seem to be treating this project with a lot of care and passion, and I think they'll do the character of Hazel, her story, and the setting justice. If the game comes out and it turns out to be mid, I'll be very disappointed, but so far, it looks very promising. Marvel 1943 is the newest joint from industry veteran Amy Hennig, who notably wrote legendary games like Uncharted and Legacy of Kain. All we've got is one trailer so far, but my goodness, the game looks unreal. See what I did there? Yes, the game was built with Unreal Engine 5, and this looks like the type of visual fidelity that was hyped up around the time UE5 was first being revealed. And I gotta be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Captain America or Black Panther, even though I think both those characters are very cool. It's very much Amy Hennig's name and the insane graphics that have me most interested in this one. Not to mention, the story itself does seem interesting, and Kari Payton as Azuri also really excites me as a fan of his work. But right now there's no definitive release date, but hopefully we'll learn more soon. I've been waiting on a new Mafia game for a minute now, so when one was finally announced, I was pretty excited. Even though when the rumors first started swirling about it being a prequel, I was slightly disappointed just because I was kind of interested to see what kind of stories they would tell in an 80s or 90s setting coming off of Mafia 3, which took place in the 1960s. But I'm gonna let Hangar 13 cook, because even though the idea of prequels don't excite me personally, they usually prove to still be great. It's like back in the day when people would say that Red Dead Redemption 2 was going to be a prequel, and I hated that idea because I'm like, we don't need a whole game about what happened before with Dutch's gang. They talk about it so much in Red Dead Redemption, I don't care to see it. But then Rockstar actually started putting out trailers and stuff for the game, and I shut right the hell up because it looked incredible, and now it's one of my favorite games of all time. So I've become a little more open to prequel stories because they can have value. So with that being said, we'll just have to wait and see with this one. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. I kind of hate that subtitle. I liked it better when it was just Death Stranding 2. But what do I know? I'm not one to question Kojima's genius. But in all seriousness, I'm really excited for this game. I really struggled with getting into Metal Gear, but Death Stranding did it for me, man. When the game came out, I had like next to no interest in it, especially with what a lot of the reviewers I watched was saying. But in 2022, I finally sat down and played the game for myself, and I loved it. It was one of those games where whenever I was away from it, I was just thinking about the next time I would get to play. I found the gameplay loop to be very gratifying. Tedious at times? Yes, very, but ultimately it was a fun time. That combined with a really confusing but weirdly compelling narrative, I am so hyped to be back in the world of Death Stranding again and seeing what other crazy stuff Kojima has come up with. This one really kind of goes without saying. GTA 6 Trailer 1 is the thing that made me start making videos again to begin with, so to say that I'm excited for this game would be, well, it would be an understatement. I absolutely adore Grand Theft Auto, and my excitement for GTA 6 is through the roof. At the time of writing this video, all we've gotten is one trailer and no more news since, which has led many to believe that the game actually won't make its 2025 window, which is very much a possibility considering Rockstar's track record. But also right now, there's a theory spreading like wildfire that Rockstar is going to drop something on the 27th of December. Now, whether that be screenshots, a trailer announcement, or a trailer itself is yet to be seen. But best believe if a new trailer does drop, I'll be using it here in this video. So there it is, that's it. Those are my most anticipated games of 2025. There are definitely some other ones that I'm interested in as well, but this list was really the things that I'm most excited for. But at the end of the day, I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. I'm just a guy with an opinion, and now I want to hear yours. What are your most anticipated games of 2025? Do you think some of the games I mentioned will even be released in 2025? Whatever your thoughts are, comment down below, hit like, subscribe if you want, and until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next one.